Hi, my dear friends. Welcome back to another class of MS SQL. And in this class, we are going to see how to create a view. Okay, how to create a view. What is a view? A view is like a virtual table. Okay, a view is like a virtual table where we can store the output of our SQL statements or SQL queries. Okay, so when we run some SQL queries or when we run some SQL statements, we get some output. Always, I do not want to execute those SQL queries or SQL statements. Okay, however, there are times when I need to just see the output. Okay, so queries can be sometimes very big. So what to do? We can use view in that case. Like a view can be used to store the output of the SQL statements or SQL queries, and it serves as a virtual table. That is, it serves as a view to the actual table. It serves as a window to the actual table. Okay, and that's why it's known as a view. So what is the purpose of a view? A view is a virtual table which is used to store the output of SQL statements or SQL queries. And because we sometimes don't want to run or don't need to run SQL queries or SQL statements which might be pretty big, or for security purposes, that is down the pipeline, I want some employee to just see the output but not to know about the query. So in that case, I can use a view which serves as a virtual table to store the output of the SQL statements or SQL queries. That's why it's known as a view, a virtual table where we can store the output of the SQL statements or SQL queries. It serves as a window to the actual table. That is, it serves as a view to the actual table, which means that via the view, you can do data manipulation into the actual table. Okay, via the view, you can do data manipulation in the actual table. Data manipulation means like insertion, deletion, update. Okay, so down the pipeline, suppose I want some employee to simply do some data manipulation into the actual table without knowing the name of the actual table, and or without knowing much about the actual table, and just via the view only, I want the employer to do some data manipulation things, like to insert records into the actual table via the view, delete some records from the actual table via the view, update some records of the actual table via the view. Okay, so for that purpose, we can create a view and then use it. So how to do it? First of all, you have to run this line number one. This was our main database, class one, use class one commands completed successfully. Now come down to lines 44 to 47. And here you have to give the command create view. Create view. This command you have to give. Then give a name of your view. Like I have given here my underscore view. It is up to you, whatever name you would like. Then as keyword you have to use, and then give the query. Give the query. Like here I've given the query, select asterisk from emp underscore inc where department is equals to miscellaneous. That means display all the fields from this particular table emp underscore inc, but corresponding to only those records where the department is miscellaneous, that is misc. Okay, so this is a query, and if I simply run this query, what will I get? Simply the records of the miscellaneous department. This is an output that I'm getting here, and I want to store this output somewhere. So for that purpose, I've created that view, and the name I've given as my underscore view. So that's why this command you have to give, create view, then my underscore view. That is the name of the view that you have to give. Anything you would like, you can do it. You can give it on your own. I've given here like just an abruptly the name came into my mind, like my underscore view. Then as keyword, and then give your query. Okay, so when you do this, then the output of this query will be stored in the view. So select lines 44 to 47 and then hit the execute button. There is already an object named my underscore view in the database because I have already run this, I have already created this view. Okay, and once a view is created, then a duplicate view like my underscore view and view by the name of my underscore view already exists. Okay, so I simply cannot create it like this again. I have to drop this view and then recreate it. So go to line number 49, and this command you have to give, drop view my underscore view. So this will drop this view which I had created. commands completed successfully. Now go to lines 44 to 47 and hit this, commands completed successfully. Now my underscore view has been recreated afresh. Okay. And now I want to see that like what are the records that are stored in the my underscore view. That is, when I ran this query, then the output that I got, I want this output to be stored here in my underscore view. So simply you have to do this like this. Like with respect to normal table, how we do it, select asterisk from, then give the table name. Here same thing you have to do, select asterisk from, then you have to give the view name, not the table name, but rather you have to give the name of the view. So select asterisk from my underscore view, and here you go. So the output that we wanted to be stored is there in the my underscore view. What kind of output? Now miscellaneous department records only. Okay. Now this view that has been created here, this view that has been created here has been created only with respect to the corresponding records of the miscellaneous department. So this view is simply dedicated to the miscellaneous department only. Okay. Now let us see via this view if I can insert some records into the actual table. So just like how we insert records into our table, now we give insert into, then we give the table name. Here in place of the table name, here you have to give the view name. So you have to give the command insert into my underscore view, then simply just like table values and give your values. Arbitrary I've given here with the values like EID I1136 for department miscellaneous, for designation assistant, and the salary abruptly I've selected here as 70,000. So you insert, select this from lines 53 to 54, hit the execute button. The insert statement conflicted with the foreign key constraint fk01. The conflict occurred in database class 1 table dbo emp2 underscore 2. Now see why this error came. What is the error here? That insert statement conflicted with the foreign key constraint. If you remember, in our classes of foreign keys, primary keys, then unique keys and various constraints, I had explained you about the foreign key concept, which is used to establish relationship between two tables. Okay, and in that table, in that class, if you remember, like if a person does not exist, if a person does not exist, if an employee does not exist, then you cannot give salary to that employee also, isn't it? Regarding that, I had created the foreign key and I had explained you the concept. So what is the issue here? If you look kindly, and the under the object explorer, if you scroll up, and this was my database class 1. Okay, class 1 was the database. Come down and come down to this table emp underscore inc, and here keys. Under the keys you see fk01. This key we had created, if you remember, on which column? On the eid column. This foreign key fk01 we had created on the EID column of which table? EMP underscore INC, which consisted about the salaries of various employees. Okay. So this foreign key was referring to what? The primary key of the parent table, because here IMP underscore INC is the child table, and EMP2 underscore 2, if you remember, was our parent table. And foreign key of the child table, that is fk01, which is the foreign key of the child table being emp underscore inc, always refers to the primary key of the parent table. What is the parent table here? emp2 underscore 2. What is the primary key here? eid. Okay, now under the eid of this table, emp2 underscore 2 was used to store what? It was created to store all its employees records regarding to name, city, phone, date of birth, date of joining, email IDs and all, and associated records of 79 employees were stored in the emp underscore inc table. Okay, but emp2 underscore 2 table consisted of the eid values of all its employees. Okay, so if I want to just run this line 56, go to this line number 56 and select asterisk from emp2 underscore 2, then you will see that under the EID column, what is the last value of EID? I1135. We do not have anyone with the EID value of I1136. Okay. So as we had already created our foreign key, the foreign key will first look for this EID value in the parent table, whether the person or the EI or the employee exists or not. And it is quite clearly visible that the employee does not exist. So if employee does not exist, the employee shouldn't get salary also, because to whom are you giving the salary? The employee doesn't exist only. So the foreign key, that's why, is restricting the foreign key. This was our parent table, if you remember, emp2 underscore 2 that I just ran, and the last value of EID is I1135. No such value of I1136, so no such employee with the EID value of I1136 exists only. So this particular EID, if it does not exist in the parent table, then it cannot have its salary record in the child table, which was emp underscore inc. Okay, so that's why this conflict occurred. I1136 and these records are not been allowed to be entered into your table. That's why the error came. Okay, so what to do again? A simple thing. Here I have already created this database. So here simply go to line number 58, select this, create database class 2, create a new database, and I have given its name as class 2. Then you have to just execute it, and I'm not pressing the execute button because already it has been created. Okay, and go to line number 60. Now I want to use this database. I want to use this database. So use class 2, and you would see that here there is already this database named as class 2. And what you have to do is you have to re-import. You will have to re-import emp underscore that is emp2 underscore 2 table and emp underscore inc table under this database. Okay, you will have to import those two tables again. Which two tables? emp2 underscore 2 and emp underscore inc table. Okay, emp2 underscore 2 table and emp underscore inc table. These two tables you have to import and keep where? Under this database class 2. And how to do that, I have already shown you in the very first introductory class of our SQL series. If you go to our very first video of this SQL series, then there is an introductory video where I had shown you how to import the files under a database. Okay, so here I have already imported those two, so I'm not showing them again because that is already there in the introductory video. So here you can see emp2 underscore 2 exists under this database class 2, and emp underscore inc also exists. So I have already imported these two tables under this class 2 table. And okay, and one thing you must remember also again, that when you had imported this, when you had imported this table emp2 underscore 2, then we had to alter the salary part of this particular table. That is in the emp underscore inc. If you expand it and go to its columns, right now salary is shown as integer, but in reality when you import this database, that is when you import this file and it gets stored here as a database object, then salary is originally stored in the form of varchar. Okay, so you have to convert it into integer. Salary is initially in the varchar format when you import this file into your database, where the file gets stored as a table, that is database object, and salary is data type. The data type of salary will be initially varchar, that you have to convert it into integer. How to do that conversion that I had shown you? Simply alter table emp underscore inc, alter column salary int. This I had already shown you in the initial classes. So that's what you have to give and execute. I have already converted this, so you can execute. Integer remains integer only, so salary column gets converted into integer data type. Okay, now what to do? Now under this database, previously the view my underscore view I had created under that database class 1. But this is a new database class 2. So again, you have to do the same thing. Create. view, then give the name of the view, which is my underscore view, as, then select asterisk from emp underscore inc, where department is equals to miscellaneous. Execute. Here already actually the data, this view exists under this database. Okay, so drop the view, drop view, my underscore view, and select this line 71. Execute. Now recreate it because the view I had already created under this database. Okay, that's why the error came. Select it, select all, and here you go. Commands completed successfully. So now I want to check all the miscellaneous department records, and that I want to check from the view that I created. So here you go. So the query that we were trying to run, the query that we were trying to run, this one, select asterisk from emp underscore inc, where department is equals to miscellaneous. It gives some output, this output only. This output we have now successfully stored into our view. Okay. Now try to do data manipulation, because I told you that a view is a virtual table where we can store the output of the SQL queries, SQL statements, and it serves as a window to the actual table. Means it serves as a view to the actual table, and view itself is a virtual table. So via the view you can insert records into the actual table. Via the view you can delete records from the actual table. Via the view you can update records of the actual table. Okay. So now insert this record into your view. Insert into my underscore view, then give values for EID, department, then designation and salary. Same thing we just did couple of minutes back where the error was shown. Okay, so I want to insert a record into my actual table, that is emp underscore inc table. I want to insert some record, and I do not want to insert that record directly. I want to insert that record via the view. Okay. And the view has been created here. The view has been created here with respect to only the miscellaneous department. Okay. So it is dedicated for only miscellaneous department. So insert into my underscore view values, just like your table. Insert into table name you give, here view name you have to give, and then give values. Then within the single brackets, you have to give the corresponding values for the respective fields of the MP underscore INC table. That is I1136 for EID, and the rest of the records you know. Department value is miscellaneous, designation associate, salary is 80,000. And after selecting lines 74 to 75, go to execute and execute it. One row affected. Now I want to see whether the record has been inserted into my view at first or not. Yes, you see row number 9. For this view, my underscore view, the record has been successfully inserted into the view, my view. Okay, here the record has been inserted. Now I want to see whether this record has been inserted into my actual table also or not. My actual table is emp underscore inc. So select asterisk from emp underscore inc. See, if you want to check the records from the view, you just can do it how you treat a table. Like in case of table also, select asterisk from, then you give the table name. Same with view also, select asterisk from, then give the view name. That's what I did. Now I want to check whether this record, which has already been inserted into the view, whether this record has been inserted into the actual table also or not via the view. Execute. And here we go. See, line number 80. In line number 80, if you see, for this emp underscore inc table, this record which I have entered into the view, this has been inserted into this actual table emp underscore inc also via the view. I didn't access it directly. I didn't access this actual table emp underscore inc directly. Okay. Now I want to update. Now I want to update. Update what? Update the salary record. Update the salary record of this particular EID. Now here there was no problem in terms of inserting the record into the table. Why? Because a fresh database got created. Then freshly the two tables or the two CSV files I imported here, and here I have not created under this database for these two tables emp2 underscore 2 and emp underscore inc. I have not created any kind of keys, no foreign key also. So there is no restriction here. That's why it was able to insert it. I've done it just for your explanation purposes. Okay. So the salary of this particular EID is 80,000 and I want to increase it to 85,000. So just you have to update it. That means 80,000 is there. You have to update it to 85,000. So you have to give this command update. This we have seen in our initial classes also in our SQL series. What to do in case of an update? You have to give the command update. Then you have to give the table name, then set, and then give your rest part of the query, whatever you want to do. Here also I can update the record of my table. Here also I can update the record of my actual table by or via the view. No need to go to the actual table. I want to update a particular record of my actual table, and I do not want to do it directly by going into the actual table. I want to update this record of my actual table via the view. So here update command you give, and instead of table name you have to give the view name. Simple. Instead of the table name you have to give the view name. Okay. Update my underscore view. Then as it is set, you have to give this keyword set salary. Salary is equals to what? Now 85,000. Salary is equals to 85,000, and you have to specify that with respect to which EID you are doing this update. So here EID where EID is equals to I1136. Simply this you have to give. Okay. This part we have already seen in our previous classes how to do it with respect to tables. Here I'm doing it with respect to the view. Okay. So select lines 80 to 81. Go to the execute button. One row affected. Now come down and let us check. Select, I'm checking both. Okay, select asterisk from my underscore view and select asterisk from emp underscore inc. That is, I have updated the salary record of this EID person, and this update record should be reflected in both the view as well as into the actual table. Because via the view only, I want to perform my update with respect to the actual table, which is my emp underscore inc. Hit the execute button. Now, at first, the view output is shown, and here you go 85,000 with respect to EID I1136, and then come down for our actual table and come down to this particular person's record I1136. Here, the person's salary has been successfully updated to 85,000 into the actual table. This is the actual table right now. Okay, in the view already the update has happened, and in the actual table also the update has happened thanks to this view my underscore view. Now delete this record from the table. I want to delete this particular record from the table, from the original table, that is from the actual table, but I want to do it indirectly. That is not by going to the actual table. I want to delete this record from the actual table, not by going directly to the actual table, but rather I want to do it via the view. Okay, so via the view, I want to delete this particular record from the actual table. So give the command just like how you delete records from tables. Simply delete from table name, then give your rest part of the query. Okay, here also same thing, delete from this command you have to give using these keywords delete then from, and then you have to give your table name, sorry, view name, not table name but rather view name. Okay, so go to line number 86, delete from my underscore view. Here I'm giving the name of the view, not the name of the table. Where EID is equals to where EID is equals to I1136. Go to execute and hit, and now basically check whether it's been performed or not. So go to lines 89 and 90, hit the execute button, and you see in case of the view, in case of the view, that record is gone. In case of the view, last record is I1030. No such record of I1136. So record is gone, and this record should be deleted from the actual table also. Scroll down, you see last record is I1134, I1136 and its corresponding records are gone from the actual table. Okay. Now suppose this view was created with respect to what? This view, my underscore view, was created with respect to only the miscellaneous department. That is, if I have some record with regards to the miscellaneous department, then that only should be inserted into the view, and via that view, that particular record should be inserted into the actual table. If the department is anything else, if the department is anything else apart from the department of operations, I think miscellaneous, sorry. So basically, if I want to insert records of other tables, if I want to insert records of other departments, then that should not be allowed. Okay, if I want to insert records of other departments, that should not be allowed via the view. Okay, so let us see. Insert into my underscore view values, then I1137. Department name is operations, designation is manager, salary is 150,000. Okay, so select this and go to your execute, one row affected. Now check your view, check your view. So go to line number 95, select asterisk from my underscore view, execute, and you see, is this record has been inserted here? The record has not been inserted here. Why? Because here the department is not miscellaneous. The department is operations. Okay. View will only allow view will only allow the miscellaneous based department records to be inserted into itself. Okay. Now let us see, what has anything bad happened to my table? Has anything bad happened to my actual table? Actual table is emp underscore inc. So go to line number 96 and select asterisk from emp underscore inc. Hit the execute button and try to come down. Now when you come down, you see this particular record has been inserted in the actual table. Line row number 80, if you see, the operations based department record was not inserted into the my underscore view, but the operations based department record has been inserted into the actual table. This should not have happened. This should not have happened. Okay, because view will allow only the miscellaneous. View must allow only the miscellaneous based department records to be inserted. And if the department name is something else, not miscellaneous, it is say operations or contractual or something else, HRD, then that should be not entered into the view, that should be not entered into my actual table. Okay, with respect to the view, this operations based department record was not allowed to be inserted, but via the view, this record somehow got inserted into my actual table. Okay, so what you can do is delete this record from your actual table. I'm not using any view name here. Delete from emp underscore inc, where eid is equals to I1137. So delete the entire record. Delete the entire record of this eid I1137 from the table. And here I'm directly doing it with respect to the table, not with respect to the view. Why? Because inside the view I don't have this person's record. Inside the view I don't have any record of I1137, department being operations, designation being manager, salary being 150,000. Okay, so if there is nothing inside the my underscore view, if there is no such record inside my view, then I cannot delete that record from my underscore view, isn't it? And if there is no such record inside the my underscore view, then no such record will be deleted from my underscore view, and as a result, no such record will be deleted from the actual table also. So if you have to delete this record from the actual table, then you will have to access the actual table only. Okay, if you want to delete the record from the actual table, then you will have to simply give delete from, then give the actual table name emp underscore inc. You cannot give the view name here. Then where eid is equals to I1137. So this entire record of this employee I1137 will be gone from the actual table. Hit the execute button, and definitely the record has must have gone from it. And let us check. Go to line number 90 and check it and hit the execute button, and then come down. See, the process record is gone. That is fine. This we have seen many times in our classes. So what to do? What is the option? The option is here you have to make a change to your view, and here you have to give this command with check option. With check option will simply restrict with check option will simply restrict the entry of such records into your actual table via the view. Previously, we saw even though the operations based department record was not inserted into the view, which is fine, but it got inserted into the actual table. That happened via the view only. That should not happen. That record should not have been inserted into the actual table also. Okay, so for that purpose, we have this command in line number 105 with check option, which will simply restrict the entry of such records into your actual table. If the department is miscellaneous, then fine, the record will be inserted into the view as well as into the actual table. But if the department name is something else, which is not miscellaneous, then that record won't be inserted into the view, and that record should not be inserted into your actual table also. So here what you can do now, alter. We have previously seen we have altered our tables, alter table and all. So here simply you have to give alter view, then give the view name, which is my underscore view, then as, then give the query, select asterisk from emp underscore and inc where department is equals to miscellaneous with check option. So what I'm trying to do here, now this view will simply not only restrict the record of unwanted records. Now this view will not only simply restrict the records of some unwanted departments into itself, which previously also it did not allow without the check option, but this time it will also restrict the entry of such records into the actual table. So the original query that I gave just uh, just in the above couple of minutes back, that same query here you have to give select asterisk from emp underscore inc where department is equals to miscellaneous. So only miscellaneous department based records will be stored into my view with check option. That means it will now restrict the entry of unwanted records. It will now, this view, that is my underscore view, will restrict the entry of records where the department is not miscellaneous. Okay, wherever there is a record where the department is not miscellaneous, in such a case, this view, that is my underscore view, won't allow the record to be inserted into the actual table also. So select from lines 101 to 105 and go to the execute button. Commands completed successfully. Now let us do something like this. Insert into my underscore view. So I'm trying to insert a record into the view. Values you give, EID you give, I1136. Department is operations and which is not miscellaneous. Department is operations, not miscellaneous. And this is the designation associate and the salary 80,000. So previously without check option also, this type of record where the department is not miscellaneous was not allowed to be inserted into the view but was allowed to be inserted into the actual table. But this time with check option, this record definitely won't be there into the view, and this record definitely won't be allowed to be entered into the actual table also. What is the actual table? emp underscore inc. So let us check. Because why? What is the reason here? Because the department is not miscellaneous. It is something else, which is operations. Execute and see, error has appeared. The attempted insert or update failed because the target view either specifies with check option or spans a view. So the view did not allow this record. The view did not allow this record to be inserted into the actual table. So just check from select asterisk from my underscore view. See, this record I1136 department operations associate 80,000 has not been allowed to be entered into the view. And if you go to line number 111, select asterisk from emp underscore inc, there also you must see that this particular record has not been allowed to be entered into your original table. Previously it didn't happen. Previously the record didn't enter into the view, that was fine, but the record did enter into the actual table where the department was operations, which should not have happened. Only miscellaneous department based record should be allowed. So this time with the help of the check option, that is with check option, the view restricted the entry of this unwanted record into the actual table. So this record where the department is not miscellaneous, rather operations, was not allowed to be entered into the actual table. Okay. Then sometimes what want to do is like I want to just use the view for reading purposes. I just want to use the view for reading purposes. I do not want to do any insertion. I do not want to do any deletion. I do not want to do any kind of update. No insert, no update, no delete. Okay. I just want to read some records of my table, but create the view in such a way that I won't be able to allow to do any kind of data manipulation. Like I won't be allowed to do any kind of data manipulation like insertion or update or delete. So what to do? Create a new view. You have to create another view. So create view. This command you have to give using these keywords. Then give the view name my underscore view one. Then use this keyword as, and then give this query. This query will do you what is if I go to line number 115 and simply select this query to run, select distinct city from emp2 underscore 2. So all the unique city names will be displayed. And this is an output that I got. This is an output that I get after running this query, which is in line number 115. I want this output simply to be stored into my view and just for reading purposes. So here what you do is from lines 113 to 115, select, that is create view my underscore v1 as select distinct city from emp2 underscore 2, and this output of the query will be stored into the view my underscore view1. There is already an object name my underscore view1, so I have already created it, so I have to drop the view, then recreate it afresh again. So drop view and my underscore view1, go to lines 113 to 115 and hit the execute, and commands completed successfully. Okay, now I want to see this output with respect to this view that I just created, my underscore view1. Go to line number 118. So select asterisk from my underscore view1. So this particular view will display all the unique city names from that is from the table emp2 underscore 2. Okay. See, so the output of this query has now been successfully stored into this view, which is my underscore view1. So select asterisk from my underscore view1, and all these unique city names will be displayed. Okay. So this view I created just for reading purposes. You cannot do any insertion, updation, update, or deletion. Let us check whether my statement is correct or not. Go to line number 120. Delete from delete from my underscore view1 where city is equals to Chandigarh. So I want to delete this particular record of Chandigarh from the view, which will affect my original table also. Okay, so selected lines 120 to 121, hit the execute button, and you see cannot update the view or function my underscore view1 because it contains aggregates or distinct or group by clause. So wherever you have things like this, that is aggregates or distinct or group by clause or pivot or unpivot operators, there you cannot do such operations. You can only use such views for reading purposes. You cannot use such views for data manipulation. Okay. Now, coming back to our original tables, select asterisk from emp2 underscore 2, just a recap of this table, and it contained all the 132 EIDs of 132 employees and their corresponding records. And if you go to this particular table, select all the records, select all the fields, select asterisk from emp underscore inc, which will display all the fields of this table and all the records. 79 records this table had, 79 rows that is, and that means out of 132 employees, 79 employees are there whose EIDs are stored in this table emp underscore inc, and those 79 employees have their records for department designation salary in this table emp underscore inc also. Okay, so there are 53 employees who do not have records in this emp underscore inc table, and 79 employees who have the records in both the tables. Joins, you must remember, joins we had created. So let us see. I'm creating another view named as my underscore view2. What is the command I'm giving here? Now create view, then my underscore view 2. Okay, this we have seen already as. Then here I am trying to run a join operation. You must remember the join operations that we had discussed in our previous classes. If not, please check that video. Select e.eid. EID is what? EID is a column that exists in both the tables emp2 underscore 2 as well as emp underscore inc. Okay, so the EIDs will be displayed, names will be displayed, cities will be displayed, phone values will be displayed, department values will be displayed, designation values will be displayed, salary values will be displayed. So these records will come from both the tables. So when you have records coming from both the tables, that's when you have to use the join operation. And something extra I'm doing here, salary into 0.11, whatever is the salary, that will be multiplied with 0.11. Okay, so like this particular salary will be multiplied with 0.11. This salary will be multiplied with 0.11. This particular salary will be multiplied with 0.11. And a new column will be created. A new column will be created known as extra underscore allow1. There is some extra allowance is been given. I assume that some 11% extra allowance is been given to all these 79 employees who have their records in this second table, that is emp underscore inc. And then another type of allowance also, then another type of allowance I'm also giving here to these 79 employees, that is 17%. So there will be two extra fields. One is extra underscore allow1 and another one is known as extra underscore allow2. Extra underscore allow2, this one. Okay, this one. So this will be your, so these are known as your calculated fields. These two are known as your calculated fields. Extra underscore allow1 does not exist in either of the tables, and this extra underscore allow2 does not exist also in either of the tables. I have here performed these two columns will be created extra, and these are used for some extra calculation purposes. So these are known as your calculated columns. Here in this column, what will happen in extra underscore allow1? 11% of the salary values will be stored here, and for this column extra underscore allow2, it shall have 17% of the salary values stored under itself, stored under it. Okay, so salary into 0.11 as extra underscore allow1. So extra underscore 11 will contain the 11% of the salary values, and this second calculated field extra underscore allow to shall contain the 17% of the salary values under it. Okay. Now since records are coming from both the tables, what I will do, now at first from keyword you have to give, then you have to give the table name, which is emp2 underscore 2. Okay. This is my left table, and I am renaming it as E. Hence I have given here E. Okay. Then in the next line here you have to give inner join. Inner join means only the common records. So only the common EIDs will be picked up from both the tables and their records will be displayed. Then in the next line you have to give the another table name, which is EMP underscore INC, and that I have renamed here as EC. Okay, on keyword you have to give in line number 133, and here you have to specify that here you have to specify the common column name, the common column name between the two tables. What is the common column name between the two tables? It is EID. The left table, which is my emp2 underscore 2, which I have renamed for this operation as E, contains the EID column, and this right table emp2 underscore 2 renamed as E is the left table which contains the EID column, and this right table emp underscore inc, which is renamed as EC, this also contains the EID column. So the EID column is common between the two tables. Okay, so here E.eid is equals to EC.eid. So inner join will do what? Inner join will pick up the common EIDs between these two tables, and only those common EIDs and their records, that is name, then city, phone, department, designation, salary, will all be obtained. and correspondingly these fields will also be calculated, like extra underscore allow1, extra underscore allow2, they will be also calculated. Okay, so if you remember this join operation, very fine. Otherwise, you can go to that video and you can just have a look. So select and hit the execute button. There is already an object named like this because the view had already created. So drop view, then give the view name, which is my